Hello everyone, I'm Sailesh Menezes. I'm the Vice President and Regional Leader for Country Human Resources at Hewlett Packard Enterprise. First, we need to understand what will retain teams in an organization. And to me, this is probably 3 or 4 key tenets of it. So the first I would put down to career development and planning. It's all about aligning roles to the aspirations of our employees and their career, both long and short term. The second is having a robust reward and recognition philosophy. And this philosophy, again, should be aligned both short and long term to the organization, to the talent you have, and to the market, the external market that you work. This includes market competitive compensation structures, investments in long-term benefits, incentives, a timely reward recognition system for teams, and of course, employee well-being. The third, I would put it down to learning. It's about having stretch assignments and experiential learning for the teams, be it gigs, mentoring, coaching, networking opportunities. We often underestimate the power of new experience. Everyone is thrilled, and that's human behavior, when they get to an opportunity to learn something new and do something new. The fourth, I'd really like to emphasize on the fourth point, is about how do you create safe, non-hostile, inclusive and positive work environment. Organizations can tend to downplay this aspect, which is embedded into the cultural ethos of the organizations. To me, this is very, very key. And a lot of reasons why talent stays in the organization is because they feel respected in organizations. And I think this is something that HP has done exceptionally well. And that's the reason why we consistently have average tenures above the market, is because of the level of respect that we have for each other in the organization. And that's our DNA. The next that I like to speak about is the strong leadership frameworks. Leadership and leaders build strong teams. And these are teams who are aligned to organization goals. So you need to invest in your leadership and your leaders if you like to create a powerful retention strategy of the organization. And finally, I would put it also down to effective feedback mechanism. When you listen to your employees, they feel that they're being heard, and they see action happening with respect to the feedback that they have shared. If you can put all these together, and this is what HP does exceptionally well, is you will be able to create a potent and powerful retention strategy for your organization. One is you need to create and sustain a high-performing organization that rewards top talent and rewards performance. If you do a peanut butter approach to talent and rewards, then you will lose your top talent. And I think that's a given. As we all know, organizations need talent that will help grow the business and not just grow with the business. So HP top talent attrition is consistently lower than overall attrition levels, which, as I mentioned, is much lower than the industry itself or the industry averages. The second is talent becomes your culture vehicles, and especially top talent can be powerful voices and role models for the others in the organization. And that's why I spoke so much about how it's so important to retain talent, especially your top talent. Another important point, which actually adds into the first point I made, is let's not forget that high-performing individuals in the market are attracted to organizations that support stronger performance differentiation and give them an opportunity to work with top talent. I think this is a given because so much of research has proved as the reason why great talent wants to join you from the market is an opportunity for them to work with equally great talent in the organization. And that's why we cannot downplay the importance of this aspect. Another aspect that I wanted to share is that you need to have very strong alignment of individual bold goals or your individual goals or KRAs to organization goals. And the visibility of this connection to at every level in the organization is key. If your employees are unable to see how their goals feed into the organization's strategy and results, they will never be able to see the bigger picture. And if they're unable to see the bigger picture, their sense of purpose and worth in that role diminishes. So you need to have those strong alignments that happen starting from what is expected from them. And also, when you reward talent, you reward them based on the alignment of what they do, be it alignment to their bold goals or their KRAs, alignment to the culture. Because remember, rewarding certain behaviors that align with the organization culture is key to ensuring that those behaviors behaviors repeat themselves every time we do it. Just another one or two other points. One is, I always believe continuous feedback. Ensure regular performance reviews with team members to help to ensure not just a high performance culture, but to ensure that there is a strong alignment, consistent alignment with organization goals. And by doing this, when you also look at their own aspirations, you're able to create those successors for critical roles. So by creating successors, you help to de-risk the business, and this also helps in overall alignment to what you want to do in the organization, from your strategy, from where you want to be in the market, to the talents alignment to that. Firstly, I truly believe reward and recognition is key to keeping talent motivated. It helps create a sense of worth, and it helps create a sense of belonging in an individual to an organization. But the first thing you need to do in that is listen to your team members. HP does this extremely well. Through the surveys, to multiple listening sessions, focus group discussions, or ad hoc sessions that we do in a very structured way at different times of the year, helps us to identify what our team members really want, and we create very specific actions towards. That's one key aspect. The second is, we've also created a very potent online recognition platform for recognition that can be with or without reward point, which is a peer or a colleague level recognition or manager level recognition, or even if you want to recognize and thank your own people leader for what they do. This whole system brings in a lot of flexibility, and this tool also helps you to showcase your recognition as well to the rest of the organization, so they feel good about it. We also have an annual Employee Appreciation Day, which is a unique celebration of each employee for their contribution to the success of the company. And it's a day when we all celebrate, and it goes more than just a day. It sometimes extends to that entire week, where we make it a point to really acknowledge the contribution of others in our professional lives that make us successful. The other aspects of it, or a few others that I can think of, is we have very specific BU and sales-led recognition programs, because we believe that recognition should be in our DNA. It should be a way of life. So all our business meetings, our town halls, our all-employee meetings do include this aspect of recognition, because it's about thanking and recognizing others for what they do. Recognition does not necessarily only have to do with cash awards. Just the act of recognizing someone and acknowledging them does wonders to the fact that it's not just a self-worth, but it's also the fact that they feel positive about the organization and its culture. We also believe that benefits and programs go just beyond simple recognition efforts that I spoke about. We also have robust well-being programs that create a sense of belonging and engagement to team members and their families. We have specific opportunities for those who do well, where we give them learning assignments and experiences, new experiences, that will help a team member grow in their careers. Apart from this, we have introduced a number of specific benefits that help our team members during the various life stages. So one is, the war for talent across the entire industry is fierce, especially India and many other geographies, and more so for specific skills and competencies, especially in the high-tech sector. And I truly believe that there are certain things that we need to continue to create these robust frameworks. I spoke about quarterly performance conversations. I spoke about talent reviews. I spoke about the reward differentiation and development plans are absolutely essential for working through some of these challenges that we face, where there's a war for talent. The tenure of team members and employees in organizations are getting shorter and shorter, and there's always great amount of demand out there for such talent, and you need to do what is right and do it consistently. The other challenge that I think the whole industry is facing is that there is a demographic change in terms of generations at the workplace. You have the Gen Z workforce today in the workplace, and there is a changing mindset about longevity in an organization, and that's another challenge. But HP is able to understand what engages and motivates our talent across the generational spectrum. And as I said, that's been key USP in being able to retain talent, not just across the generations, but also have talent above what we see out there in the industry. I can give you an example. Just in India alone, the average tenure of our talent is over 6 years. And that's in spite of hiring so much of new, fresh, energetic talent from the market every year. And that only goes down to what we do to understand the challenges we face as an organization, be it from the market, be it internally, be it from the various generations, and how do we really address it. But as I also mentioned in the past, and I like to really reinforce this point, is you need to equip your people leaders to effectively lead and to handle a multi-generation workforce. You would have heard this, I know it's very cliched, said quite often, that a lot of employees view the organization through the lens of the people leaders. And that's so true. So we have different programs for different life stages of a people leader that helps them and augments their own development to be a potent, strong people leader that embodies our culture, beliefs, and what you really stand for. To me, retention has to be a combination of three axes. I call it the head, the heart, and the wallet. And I'll just spend a minute explaining what each of these is. And sometimes we tend to believe and we overemphasize on one over the other. The wallet to me is all about competitive compensation structures, which yes, you have to be market competitive. It's about long-term, short-term incentives, be it bonuses, be it stock options. The wallet is important. One is it's not just expensive to do, but it's not a viable long-term strategy of retention if your main focus is only the wallet. As frankly, if you ask me, it's fairly easy for a competitor out there or another company out there who needs talent that you may have to outpay you. And that's why it's so important for organization, and I think HP does it exceptionally well, to focus on the other two axes. The second axis I spoke about is about the head. That's the development axis in my view. It's about the upskilling opportunities you give your team members. It's about the new experiences you give them. It's about the opportunity to expand your knowledge through higher education programs, be it degree assistance, be it leadership programs. It's about role rotations. I spoke about gigs, short-term experiences that everybody loves to do. And finally, to me, a lot of it boils down to the heart. It's about how every employee is made to feel about themselves and the environment. I spoke in your first question, you asked me a lot about how we have to create an inclusive, non-hostile, respectful culture. It's all about a feeling of being inclusive or included. It's about respect and pride, where the culture of the organization is paramount. And this is reflected through inclusive leadership, through employee well-being, when you care about the employee beyond just what they expected to do for you, when you care about them and their families. It's about also extending the influence to employees' families. It's about recognizing them for the great work they do. It's about creating the right socio-cultural activities where the families can be part of as well. And the fact that if you need to retain talent, you have to look at balancing the three in the way every organization is able to do it, or what works for that specific organization.